Afternoon everybody, and welcome back to Birmingham Wildlife Conservation Park for the latest in our Wednesday Facebook Live videos. And today we are going to spend some time with some of our tortoises. I'm in your way, sorry. So yeah, we'll do the usual, guys. I will chat about these guys. Feel free to send in any questions and comments you might have. Otherwise we will kind of crack on. So yeah, we are going to focus on the tortoises out here in the paddock today. I will talk a little bit about the other tortoise species we've got as well, but yeah, we will kind of focus on these guys. So in this enclosure here we have two African spurred tortoises. We have Margaret here. And then we have our male Victor, who is inside under the heater at the moment, keeping warm. So Margaret is 19 years old. Victor inside is 25 or so now. So still not particularly old for tortoises. Obviously these guys can live quite a long time. Well past kind of 70, 80. I'm going to move out of your way, my darling. There we go. So these guys, like I say, are African spurred tortoises. So they are the third largest species of tortoise in the world. They are found in sub-Saharan Africa. They'll feed on, well, as you can see, they'll feed on grasses and weeds and flowers and things like that. Here at the park we obviously let them out to graze on nice days, so at the moment they're out pretty much every day. Throughout the summer, they unless the weather's terrible, they will pretty much be out every day. But we also give them hay to graze on. They also get dandelions added to the diet, as well as kind of salads and things like that in the winter when dandelions and things aren't quite so prevalent around site. So yeah, Margaret's just out having a bit of a graze at the moment. So African spurred tortoises are classed as, I believe they're actually now endangered in the wild. They've been vulnerable for quite a while, but I think the last time I checked they have actually been kind of upgraded to endangered, which might be a bit of a surprise because they are actually quite common, for want of a better word, common pet species. Obviously that's part of the reason that that they are endangered for the pet trade when they're taken kind of illegally and things like that from the wild. Hi Mary, hi Judith, good to see you guys watching today. Yeah, we'll try and get a close-up of her feeding. Might be able to get a bit of the noise in there as well. Don't go camera shy. So you can see they've got a nice hard beak that they use to pull the grass and the flowers up from for them to feed on. Hi Tim, good to see you watching today. What more could you want? Tortoise having their lunch live on Facebook. So I'm not sure how long we've actually had the tortoises here, Tim. I might be able to go and have a look on their cards actually in the house. They've definitely been here for at least 8 years, because they've been here for the same amount of time that I've been here. But yeah, we'll just go and check that. We'll go and have a look at Victor. And I'll check to see if we can see when they arrived. No, it doesn't say when they arrived, so I'm not sure on that. They were a bit smaller. So this is Victor. So these guys, like I say, are both pretty much fully grown now. Victor's a big male African spurred tortoise. Margaret outside is a bit smaller. But yeah, Victor is quite an impressive tortoise. Yeah, definitely don't need a lawnmower in here, Phil. Yeah, don't need a lawnmower, don't need any work doing in here. They do the job for us. Very eco-friendly lawnmower. Yeah, they definitely have grown, Tim. Even since I've been here, they have grown. I'm not sure when they actually reach full size, at what age they are. But yeah, I'm sure they've done a fair bit of growing while they've been here. So sharing this enclosure with our African spurred tortoises is a young Aldabran tortoise who is trying to get in on the act. He is yeah, trying to get in on the act, bless him. So this young Aldabran tortoise is about 7 years old. He came to us a few years ago now. He was a lot smaller. Yeah, he was probably maybe a quarter of the size that he is now, maybe a bit bigger than that. And Aldabran tortoises are one of the two largest species in the world, obviously them and the Galapagos tortoise. So he does have a lot of growing to do. He's definitely nowhere near fully grown. He'll get a lot bigger than this in the future. Much like the African spurred tortoises, he's same kind of diet. We don't do anything different with him. He's pretty much same as with these guys. They don't really make too much noise. They do make some grunts and noises like that. The majority of their vocalizations is kind of exhalations more than anything else really. They always sound fairly disapproving, bless them. Yeah, so Phil, the African spurred tortoises, we successfully bred them, probably about 5-6 years ago now, something like that. And yeah, we got 5 youngsters from them. I think it was 5, who stayed with us here. They kind of grew up with us, not to full size, probably to about a third the size of an adult. And they have all now moved on to other collections. So yeah, that was quite a nice little success story for these guys. So yeah, like I say, these two species aren't the only species of tortoise we've got here. We've also got radiated tortoises, who you will find on nice sunny days in with our gentle lemurs. So they are out today because again it's a nice day today. So radiated tortoises are from Madagascar and they are critically endangered. We've got 4, I think they're 4 boys. Yeah, they've got very pretty shells, which is one of the reasons that they are critically endangered, because people do obviously kind of hunt them for those shells, because they are very, very, very beautiful shells that they've got. So yeah, we've got the radiated tortoises, who are probably about a third of the size of the sulcatas that you can see here, the African spurreds you can see here. And then we also have red-footed and yellow-footed tortoises. So the red-footed tortoises are in our Tamarin Conservation Centre, and our yellow-footed tortoises are actually off-show. They're in one of our off-show facilities. But they're both South American tortoise species. Get around about the same size as a radiated tortoise, maybe a little bit smaller. Feed on similar kinds of things, but they'll also eat a bit of fruit, and I believe the yellowfoots will also actually take a little bit of meat sometimes. Obviously, opportunistically, they aren't able to hunt things. And they get their names. They're quite closely related, but red-footeds have got kind of on the spurs that you see here. Red-footeds are quite red on the scales on the feet, whereas yellow-footeds are yellow, and then the shells also show a bit of red and yellow respectively for red-foots and yellow-foots. Yeah, I don't really know, Tim, because it is kind of an extension of the skeleton almost. I can't really remember how it works properly. I think it's something to do with their ribs and things like that, so I'm sure to them it just kind of feels normal. Yeah, I wouldn't think it feels like any extra weight, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Yeah, it'd be interesting to kind of know. I will pop back out and see Margaret, because she's doing a little bit more than Victor is, which she's out feeding. So yeah, if you've got any questions, feel free to send them in. Otherwise, we will wrap up in a couple of minutes. And a good little feed there on a bit of clover there as well. Yeah, you can see kind of what they like and what they don't like in the paddock. You obviously get longer bits that are left, which they obviously aren't keen on. Obviously not fans of daisies or anything like that either. So yeah, I'm not sure how often they actually sleep, Tim. They spend a lot of time fairly immobile, just sitting indoors and sitting under the heater or coming out and sitting in a nice warm spot, but I'm not actually sure how much of that time they actually sleep for. You don't often come in and they're fast asleep, so yeah, I don't think it would be too much, to be honest. You're going to go around that way, aren't you? It would be very awkward. Having a good munch there. You can see her pulling the head backwards and forwards just to grab and tear the grass. So that's what they do. They don't really bite the grass or chew it. They kind of tear it away and then chew it once it's in their mouths. So yeah, Bo, they do feel the cold. So we only let them out on nice warm sunny days. Yeah, because they would really feel the cold. So in the winter, they don't spend too much time outside. They stay in their nice heated indoor enclosure, just because it would be too cold for them. But throughout the summer, and most of the spring and autumn, really, they are able to come outside. And yeah, it's not too cold for them then, because they're quite a large tortoise. They can tolerate slightly lower temperatures than kind of smaller species. Right then, guys, I think we will wrap it up there with our tortoises for today. Hopefully you've learned something about them. Good question, Tim. So I don't think for a tortoise it's a particularly difficult exercise. I think it's just they've adapted quite well to being able to do it. I'm not really sure of the logistics of it, for want of a better way of putting it. But yeah, it seems to work. Yeah, there's nothing massively kind of special about what they do. I don't think it's fairly usual stuff mating wise. So yeah, they've obviously just adapted to doing it to kind of cope with the shell. Right then guys, we will call it a day there and let Margaret have her lunch. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. Hope you've enjoyed meeting some of our tortoises. We'll be back again same time next week. We're up to the letter U next week. So yeah, only got 6 weeks left of our alphabet. So yeah, up to the letter U next week. So yeah, tune in 1 o'clock next Wednesday, and we will be carrying on. So cheers for watching guys, and we will see you next week.